Hey there, this is the One Boom, and today I thought I'd start my video off with a bit of a channel update. My mom caught COVID from a coworker and brought it home, because this is where she lives, and while that sucks, she's actually getting better. She hasn't had symptoms in days. She's thinking that she got a very weak strand of it, and she's not doing too bad. I, on the other hand, am starting to exhibit a couple symptoms. Some congestion, fever, stuff of the sort. I'm taking care of it. I have insurance. I have people I can call. So don't worry, I'm not sitting here trying to get in my own head about it. And I'm a healthy dude. I don't think I'm going to have too much of an issue. But I am going to cut down on content creation a little bit. I was taking a content creation break for a second because Cyberpunk's coming out and Cold War Season 1's gonna come out, and I wanted to save my voice and energy and enthusiasm for that. I have food on my shirt. That's so fucking embarrassing. But now I might take a little bit more of a break just to sort of keep myself healthy and put the energy where it should go, which is to feeling better, and also, you know, I do want to feel better by Hanukkah. Hanukkah is on the 10th, and it is 6 days away at the time I'm recording this, and so I would rather be in tip-top shape by that point than not be. So either way. You also might notice that my chair that you guys basically bought for me is sitting behind me, and I'm sitting back in the old one. Well, the funny story about that is the base that holds the wheels cracked. And that's because they didn't really include a very good base on it, not a very wide base and not a very sturdy base. So I'm ordering a more solid metal base for it, so I can get some bigger wheels to work with it, which would be really nice. So that'll be nice, but that's why I'm sitting in this one. So if I stream in the next couple of days and I'm sitting in this crappy chair, you know why. Either way, this video is a little controversial, and I'm sure it's going to start some sort of flame war in the comment section, but I don't really care. It's what I think, and I hope you guys enjoy it for what it is. Black Ops Cold War is not standing on a tried and true base when it comes to its core gameplay. It's experimental, and it's trying new things, and that is something that we should applaud in a franchise as old as Call of Duty, but some innovation can really only be praised for being innovation, not actually being a quality gameplay decision. Black Ops Cold War wants to be a more skill-based, objective-oriented Call of Duty game, but it's taking a lot of half measures. Modern Warfare similarly took a lot of half measures to make their game more tactically realistic, but those half measures were to preserve the Call of Duty style. So you have some things that are realistically themed, or they make some sort of realistic sense, but they aren't in the way of what makes a Call of Duty game feel like a Call of Duty game at its core. So I think their half measure is more justified in this scenario, and I know I'm gonna get called a fanboy for that, but I do think it's a proper assessment of the situation. Cold War's half measures come in a different style. You see, they want there to be a longer time to kill, but they don't know how to balance that with burst rifles, DMRs, sniper rifles, and shotguns. It would be very jarring if shotguns were either removed from the game, turned into power weapons, or dealt very little damage or required point-blank shots. I mean, basically barrel stuffing somebody to get any sort of decent time to kill. They wouldn't feel like shotguns in a Call of Duty game. In the same way, if sniper rifles were power weapons, or if they required headshots for one-shot kills, then people would be very, very distraught over that, because that would remove one of the core feelings of Call of Duty, and that is being able to put a sniper on your class and shoot somebody in the upper chest and delete them across the map that way. You know, that's a very pivotal part of the franchise. I mean, it took Call of Duty players a long time to adjust for bullet travel time versus hit scan. Having actual projectiles that you need to lead is sort of counter Call of Duty, at least in the classic sense, and a lot of people saw that as a deterrent when it was first introduced. And I don't think Call of Duty players would like it if their DMRs required 5 shots to kill somebody, or their burst weapons required 2 perfect bursts to the upper chest and head, or it's a very long kill. I don't think they'd like that. I don't think Treyarch thought people would like that either, just based on how they balanced the game. The ability to 3-shot somebody with a DMR, the ability to 1-burst somebody with a burst rifle, the ability to take somebody out with a chest shot across the map with a sniper rifle, or delete somebody up close with a shotgun. Those are key Call of Duty feeling things, and the franchise will remove those things at its own peril. While some people might embrace the changes, like every year, whenever there's a drastic fundamental change to the series, I always see people in favor of it, And while this might sound pessimistic, sometimes it just sounds like they like it because it's new, but they don't really care about the way it influences the game. They just are happy that the franchise is doing something new. It's progress, and well, game developers should be progressive in the way that they design their games, because otherwise the game stagnates, right? We don't want the same thing every year. I fully agree. This is the reason I think that Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, COD Ghost, and Advanced Warfare, and Black Ops 3, those games in that span of time were so drastically different from one another that Call of Duty players always had something new to come back to each year. You know, the Call of Duty community gets pretty irritated when the games start showing the same shit, different hat. COD 4 World at War, MW2 Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, you know, those games all together, they start to blend together. Honestly, I think if Infinite Warfare would have come out before Black Ops 3, it would have been just universally praised, and Black Ops 3 would have been hated on, just because people don't like it when Call of Duty starts to look like it's doing the same shit different year thing again. So I applaud change and progress, but I don't always associate change with progress. Also, I do think that experimentation is good. I mean, Pick 10 was an experiment. Score streaks were an experiment. The Ghost perk only working when you're moving, that was an experiment, and I think it paid off. Black Ops 2 is an example of a COD game that's innovative while remaining true to why people were into the franchise in the first place. Cold War is at odds with itself. How do you balance sniper rifles that can one-shot me to my chest in a game with little to zero flinch? How do you balance that? How do you justify burst weapons with no flinch? I mean, in previous Call of Duty games, we've always had really powerful burst weapons, but if you're firing a burst and somebody hits you while your burst is coming out of your gun, your burst becomes wildly inaccurate. And while sure, in some games it might net you a free headshot, in other games, it can downright throw you off target, costing you the kill in the process. On my podcast episode, I was talking about shotguns with a subscriber, and the point I made to him was that I would much rather deal with powerful shotguns in a game like Modern Warfare versus a game like Cold War. Modern Warfare's faster time to kill and floatier movement allowed me to occasionally outplay shotgun users, whereas in Cold War, with the movement being a tad more clunky and the time to kill being a tad bit longer, shotguns really feel dominant, and they really feel like a subversion of gunfights, because even if it doesn't one-shot you, the Gallo is spraying pellets without the requirement of accuracy or precision. So this whole thing of no flinch and, you know, really rewarding headshots kind of goes out the window when somebody can just spam a spam cannon at you. Level up one of the DMRs and go into Dirty Bomb. Honestly, the tactical rifles feel like they just subvert armor, like they're built for a different video game. Even the really overpowered weapons in Modern Warfare or previous Call of Duty games, say COD World War II, still felt like they fit within the meta even if they were dominating it, because those games had shorter skill gaps due to the faster time to kill, and because of the faster time to kill, a really fast killing gun in a fast TTK game, yes, it's dominant, but it doesn't feel out of place and dominant at the same time. When I'm navigating a map in Modern Warfare and I come up to somebody with a head glitch and a FAMAS, and they one-burst me, that doesn't feel very good. I'm not a real big fan of that. When I'm playing Cold War and I come across a head glitcher that's using an M16 and I get one burst, I don't like it either, but it also just feels out of place. If you're going to change the fundamental rules of Call of Duty gameplay by removing flinch, increasing the value of headshots, increasing the overall time to kill, okay, that's fine, you can do that, but you have to take some things into account first. How will this increased time to kill and lack of flinch change the way we fight head glitchers? How will it change the way we fight people using high damage weapons such as LMGs, DMRs, or sniper rifles? These things aren't trivial, they have to be taken into account. An old thing I used to say all the time was that Call of Duty is so subtle that changing one mechanic, one simple design choice, and the entire game changes. So let's say you increase the sprint to fire speed, or no, you decrease the sprint to fire speed. You change the overall speed in which you sprint. You change how players take fall damage, you change headshot multipliers, you change flinch, you change little things, and the game changes around that. Players will adapt to the subtle changes in metas very quickly. We're very adaptable creatures, so that's what happens. Because we're so adaptable, we take these things for granted, but there's a reason people prefer certain Call of Duty games over other ones, even if they're similar. So Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 3 to Infinite Warfare. On the surface, they're very similar, but the people that are paying attention pick out the little differences and they enjoy various things about each one or over the other one, and it's interesting that we can do that. I think it's really cool. That's why I'm very annoyed whenever I critique a meta in a video game, I'm told that I'm wrong. It's like, well, I'm one of the few people that even seem to know how, so can we at least act like maybe I'm seeing something you don't? And then I can maybe, you know, extend that same respect to you. And that would be nice. That would be cool if we could communicate like that, but it seems to be very difficult. You know, in Modern Warfare, I said it had the DNA, you know, the design language of Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, COD 4, Call of Duties of days past, and I agree with myself on that one. I actually still believe that. But I also believe they missed fundamental things by changing the way the minimap worked, or making Dead Silence a field upgrade, not having an amplify perk, having suppressors increase damage range, having suppressors that do nothing except just suppress your gun with a little bit of aim down sight, speed slowdown, which is negligible, and then having a suppressor that's pointless because the other ones are better and this one takes a quarter of your damage range, you know, the lightweight suppressor. I mean, the design language of old COD games is there. Honestly, you go play Modern Warfare after playing Ghosts, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, you can see it. You play COD 4, you play Modern Warfare Remastered, for instance, you go play Modern Warfare 2019, and you can see the design language. It's very similar. It's probably why they felt so confident putting in COD 4 maps with very little changes, just because, well, that's kind of how they designed the game. That's what they designed it around. And let's say that Modern Warfare 2019 is absolutely designed for noobs. Okay, fair enough, but maybe there's some merit in that because that was what we enjoyed when we were younger and we used to play Call of Duty 4. Maybe Call of Duty 4 was in some ways designed for noobs, and that's why we appreciated it. It's only now that we're older and we've looked at the series for 13 years that we can go, well, maybe that's not a good thing. And that's good that we can have those discussions as long as they're discussions and not just baseless categorizations without reason. Either way, Modern Warfare has the design language of old COD games, missing key components, however, that made those older COD games good. I don't think it's as egregious as COD World War II. I think COD World War II basically tried to replicate the old COD ways without learning anything from them. But back to my original point, you might be thinking that Cold War is simply going halfway with its meta changes to appeal to Call of Duty players, and that's a good thing. It's half-assing its design choices to preserve the Call of Duty feel. That makes sense, except for the way they're doing it isn't creating a system that preserves the old style, it's creating a system that is at odds with itself. And I think weapon balance is going to suffer, and I think more and more people are going to realize that very, very soon. There are little things that are contradictory, like in Black Ops 4, shotguns were secondaries, but because of the way the class creation system worked, if you wanted the shotgun to be good, you had to take things away from your primary weapon and your perks and your equipment, and use those points to put attachments on your shotgun. So tell me, how does a secondary shotgun system work when there's Gunsmith? And you can have 5 attachments on your shotgun for free, some of which increase its range or fire rate or damage. Giving everybody lethals and tacticals, and then putting flak jacket and tac mask in the same perk category, so you have to either run Lawbreaker or perk greed to counter the thing that everybody gets for free, which is a similar complaint I had at the beginning of Modern Warfare with Modern Warfare's nade spam issue, which persisted very heavily throughout its life cycle. So no, Cold War is not starting from a good base. It's starting from an experimental base that's half-assed to preserve the way Call of Duty feels at the detriment of the game. Because instead of the game now feeling more like Call of Duty because of it, it feels like a Call of Duty that's at odds with itself instead of preserving itself. This video is not trying to start any sort of flameboy war. I'm just sort of getting my opinions out there, and I don't know. Maybe you guys like it, maybe you guys don't. I just don't think fast-killing shotguns work when the ARs take a shot or more to kill. Snipers not having flinch is a giant no-no to me. No flinch when fighting head glitchers with LMGs is very frustrating because you start dealing damage to them, but their gun out-damages you and they have more cover. It's very irritating. But I'm trying to remain hopeful, and I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you when I see you.